We just saw a lot of stray dogs on the street, and we knew we could do something about that. With our love for dogs and the property we have, we felt that we could make a difference. So we started taking in strays off the street. Patches, for instance, was a stray that a neighbor took in, and they left her outside 24/7. And so we convinced them to let us have her, and we have her now. We go to the shelter and we do pull from the shelter, and then we have owner surrenders, people who are for whatever reason not willing or able to keep their pet any longer. So they contact us and we take them into rescue.
Carrie Erskine founded her dog rescue No Stray Left Behind in 2007. She has rescued more than 500 dogs since.
Everybody has a name. They're no longer ID numbers. Everybody has a name, and we know each of their names and each of their barks, and we learn each of their needs, what they like, what they don't like, what makes them happy. That way we can tell whoever adopts them what they like and what they need and what makes them happy, Every waking hour that I'm not at work is devoted to my dog rescue. There's no dog here that will ever be put to sleep because another dog needs a home. These dogs that we take into our rescue will stay at the rescue until their home is found.
But not all dogs are so lucky. Dogs taken into the LA Animal Services shelters who do not find a home are euthanized. More than 8,000 dogs have already been euthanized this year. Field Supervisor Chris Carroll sees this at the South LA shelter often.
We do euthanize naturally anything that comes in that's irremediable suffering or behavior issues. And then finally, because we're a shelter that cannot turn away any animals, we have to sometimes euthanize for time and space because we just get too many animals in here. I don't know of anyone that works for this department that enjoys putting the animals to sleep. It's never an easy thing to do. It's always kind of heart-wrenching. Even the animals that we have to put to sleep because they're suffering and we know we're doing the right thing in those cases, it still tugs at your heartstrings. Personally, I can list off a whole number of cases that have just turned away and had to shed tears, and that's not just so much the euthanasia in here, but also seeing what happens to animals out there. As far as the euthanasia versus adoption numbers, for the adoptable animals overall, the department, yes, we do adopt more than we have to euthanize. We've slipped a little bit over the last few months due to the fact that we've just had an enormous influx of animals. It's been a very mild winter, so there's a lot of puppies and kittens born. But we still strive to do our best to adopt or foster or provide to rescue groups as many animals as we can.
Adoption is also a big part of rescue work. Erskine says she does her best to adopt out dogs by going to adoption fairs and expos.
My daughter and I wanted to get a tattoo, something that symbolized what we believe in and what we enjoy, and that's our dog rescue. So after she turned 18 and before she left for college, we both went down and we got them, so we're happy with them. We love them. We don't have any adoptions. We've got a lot of interests in talking about the dog, but nobody's filled out an application even. So it's not going as well as we planned, and I think it might be because of the weather.
Erskine says it is a rewarding feeling when she is able to find a dog a home.
It overwhelms you. You're so thrilled that that dog that needed a home, that had nobody, is now somebody's wanting him. Somebody wants that dog in their home. And it's very bittersweet. You're so thrilled and you're so sad. You're losing a little piece of your heart. And But you know that for everyone you adopt out, that's one more you can go to the shelter and take out and give the opportunity to have a life too.
But Erskine says it takes a lot of work to get the dogs to feel safe around people again.
And it's just a lot of socializing, getting these animals to learn that humans can be trusted, that nobody's going to hurt them, that they're going to have clean water, they're going to have fresh food, they're going to have somebody to pet them, they're going to have somebody that, you know, appreciates their life and who they are, for who they are. Some of them, the second that kennel door opens and they come out, they regain their spirit. For some of them, we as rescuers have to work extra hard just to get them back to where you left them. The person who abandoned them left them.
Pets are abandoned for many reasons, with the economy being one of them. In 2009, the ASPCA reported that 1 million pets were at risk of losing their homes because of foreclosures. Some owners just leave their pets behind. Erskine says it's a problem she sees in her work.
Tessie, she was living in the bushes of a lady who was 85 years old. The lady said when she walked the neighborhood, the house that she believed that she lived in was empty, and nobody recognized Tessie. Nobody knew who she was. So we believe she was a victim of foreclosure or people just moving.
There's different types of abandonment, specifically due to foreclosures. There was a great increase when the housing market fell. Once it sort of stabilized, our numbers from that type of abandonment have gone down. We'll have to see what happens with this new expectation for another surge in foreclosures. It'll probably end up going up again.
Officer Carroll says dogs who are brought into shelters are better off than those left behind.
An animal that's abandoned inside of a house with nothing is pretty much a bleak prospect. They've got nothing to eat, nothing to drink. If we don't intervene, then the outcome's pretty set. Now on the street, it's not a lot better. And as I mentioned, the diseases, there's the getting hit by cars. There's people out there who think it's funny to be cruel to animals, and they pick up stray animals and do all sorts of horrible things that I've seen. I know, I think the worst case was a group of teenagers, and they thought it would be funny to take a large firecracker, tape a dog's mouth shut, light it, and watch it blow off the jaw. And the dog comes in, and it's a friendly dog, but there's nothing you can do for it. Prospects out there are much worse than they are in the shelters. Turn in your animals. There is a $25 owner surrender fee currently, but for people who are without an income or in hard times, we can waive that fee. And there's no other negative consequences beyond that. If we pick up your abandoned animal and it has been suffering, we'll use every means to find you and prosecute you.
Depending on the severity of the case, people who abandon animals in Los Angeles can be fined up to $500 and spend up to 6 months in jail. Despite these consequences, people are still abandoning their pets.
Every day there's dogs being left behind. Every day there's dogs being thrown out onto the streets, thrown out onto freeways, dropped off at a dairy field because people think, oh, they'll survive. People just need to learn that they're not disposable. They're our pets, they're our family members, they love us, they trust us, and they need us, and we're their voice. You made the decision to have a pet, make the decision to give that pet what you promised it in the beginning.